For this tutorial, you're only going to need the basic supplies for a crochet project. Starting with the yarn, I chose the Woolies Thick and Quick. On the back, it says that I will need a size N or 9mm hook. However, for this tutorial, I chose a size K or 6.5mm hook. I felt like it was perfect and the stitches were perfect for this project. But of course, you can use any size yarn and hook that you see fit. I'm going to need scissors, of course, to make sure that we can cut our yarn. And something that I don't use very often, but is very essential for this project, is a yarn needle. You want something that has an eye that is big enough to fit the yarn through, so that we can then make the scrunched hat at the very top. As always, make a slip knot and chain 40. Now we're going to be working with double crochets. Just a recap of what a double crochet is. We're going to chain 2 and yarn over, place our hook into the 3rd stitch away from the hook, pull the yarn through. You have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, yarn over and pull through 2 more loops. I'm going to zoom in so that you can get a better look. Here we go. We're going to yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through. You have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over and pull through the remaining 2 loops. Go ahead and double crochet all the way down your foundation chain, and I'll meet you at the end. Now that we've reached the end, go ahead and just leave the extra end piece alone. We're going to weave that in at the very end. What I'm going to do is turn my work, chain 2. This will give us the height of the next row for the double crochet. And for this pattern, it's really quite simple. All we are going to do is double crochet into the back loop. This is very similar to the cowl that I made last winter. So I will link that down below if you have any questions. But just to recap, we're going to put our double crochet into the back loop, every single back loop. And every time that we make a new row, we're only going to be working into the back loop of the stitches. So just to give you an idea of what that looks like, we are going to be working into this back loop back here, not the front loop. So we're going to yarn over and insert our hook into the back loop and create the double crochet. Go ahead and work in this manner in every single stitch all the way down. And you want to do this for as many rows as it takes to fit completely around your head. And I'll meet you back up when I've done so for my own personal measurements. This is what your project should look like so far. Make sure that you are counting the number of stitches all the way across. Make sure that you have the same number of stitches in every single row, because sometimes you can get carried away, or when you are just working off of muscle memory, things tend to go left undone, or sometimes I would add an extra stitch, and you want to make sure that everything is completely even. This is what your project will look like so far. A very beautiful ribbed effect is what you will get. The way that I knew that my project was big enough is I put it together and I put it around my head. This is the opening where your head will go. And I made sure that it would fit completely around my head. So now I'm going to show you how to link these 2 sides together. This is my favorite way to join up 2 ends of your project. It's a little bit tricky, but once you've got it, it's going to be so beautiful on your projects. So don't cut off your extra yarn. We're going to continue using it. What I'm going to do is pull my yarn through the top. So I'm going to make sure that my yarn is coming up to the top of my project. Laying everything down flat, I am going to find the very first stitch on the other side. We want to go in through the back loop. So we're going to enter in from the top and go downwards into the back loop of the first stitch, and that will connect them together. Then what I'm going to do is just yarn over and pull through the 2 loops, and that's the first stitch. I'm going to continue in this manner. I'm going to come in from the top into the back loop on one side, bring up the other side, and I'm going to go into the back loop on the same stitch on the other side, yarn over with my leading strand, and I'm going to pull through every loop. I'm going to keep doing this until I have completely stitched up this seam, and it will bring the hat into a perfect cylinder, and we can move on to the next step after that. Alright, I finished the slip stitch, the flat slip stitch that we made in order to connect our hat together. If you notice, it goes really, really well with the ribbed look that we have created on this hat. If you want, you can trim your yarn right here, or you can slip stitch all the way around the edge and kind of finish the look. I actually really like how this looks, so I'm just going to keep it as is, and I am going to snip off my yarn and weave in the ends. I wanted to give you an idea of what it looked like along with the rest of the pattern. You can hardly even tell, in fact, you really can't tell whatsoever that we made this flat slip stitch. I think it's perfect for any ribbed design. So from here, what we're gonna do, you can go ahead and weave in your ends now, or you can wait till the end. That's what I'm going to do. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a bit of the leftover yarn. I just want enough that will cover the hat. So, because we're gonna end up pulling it really tightly close together. So I'm gonna go ahead and thread it through. We're gonna start by weaving it into one end. Gonna leave a little bit of a tail. Don't worry, we're going to end up tying it to the other end once we've gone all the way around. So you just want to very casually thread the yarn through the top and the bottom. There's no right or wrong way to do this. It's very casual. Okay, now that we have come full circle, I'm just going to remove the needle, and I am just going to, first, I'm going to pull on the 2 yarn ends until it's as tight as possible. I'm actually going to tie it into a loose knot. All right, it looks good. Now I'm just going to tie it into another knot to keep everything down. I'm probably gonna tie a couple knots actually. And now you've completed the very top of the hat. Go ahead and trim these up if you'd like. I'm gonna go ahead and fold up the ends. And now you've got yourself a really stinking cute ribbed hat.